Hi, this is Dave with Original Privateer. We hope you're doing well out there. We hope these videos are reaching you. Please share them. Please tag a friend and comment on them. That's why we do these videos. We do them, yeah, we sell t-shirts and beanies and those kind of things like that. But more than that, we're about the soul level of life, the soul level of things. Racing from the soul level, loving from the soul level. Finding that passion, whatever it's in, your racing, your downhill BMXing, your relationships, your motherhood, your fatherhood, whatever it is, but finding passion in that and doing it from a deeper place. That's what Original Privateer is about. In order to find that passion, in order to find that to go deeper from the soul level, you have to take a risk. And sometimes that risk is really hard when we're in a season or a cycle that is tough. It can be really tough. It sucks when you're in the shit. You know, when you're in the swamp, it's hard to find passion and depth in anything because we're just struggling to survive. We're existing, and every day is a struggle. From the minute we crawl out of bed or go to work or whatever it is we're doing, it's a struggle. And if we don't have deep self-awareness on that and ask ourselves, why are we in this season and how can we change it? Sometimes we got to get real honest with ourselves, and sometimes we got to move from real honest to brutal honest with ourselves and ask ourselves, what are we thinking about that is supporting this position that we're in? Why do we feel like shit? Why do we feel really insecure? Why do we have all this doubt and dread over us? You know, why do we feel like a failure? What are we thinking about, or what are we doing that supports that belief system? Because that's what's fueling that doubt and fueling that fear and fueling that crappy feeling that you're in. And we all feel like that. I mean, we've all had seasons of that, but we got to try not to live there, and we got to try to have massive self-awareness to get ourselves out of that season. You know, we moved from summer, now we're into fall and winter, it's getting cold. Well, we also need to recognize what internal season we're in and ask ourselves, you know, some of us may have been in that shit season for a long time, for a year or two or more. And we got to shift seasons, just like the season's changing, the external season is changing. We need to shift that season, but we're not going to shift that season if we're doing the same shit. If we're thinking about the same stuff, if we're struggling with the same stuff, those emotions, those emotions and feelings need to be almost like a warning system for us to wake us up and say, hey, why are we feeling like this? Why are we struggling with this? And run to our storms, run to our fear. In a way, we almost have to embrace it. We have to embrace that fear. We have to embrace that doubt and realize that, hey, there's something wrong here and we need to attack it. We need to attack it with different thinking, what we're thinking about, perhaps who we're hanging out with, who we're talking to, what we're reading. What are you reading? What are you listening to? Are you listening to crappy advice? Are you watching crappy stuff? Are you reading crappy stuff? Or are you reading stuff that gives you depth and moves you out of that shallow position into a deeper position and begins to erode insecurity and doubt and fear? But we also have to embrace those emotions and realize that we all have those, and we have to begin to use those emotions as awareness to, hey, maybe we're doing something right, or maybe, hey, this is the reason we're in the season we're in. So by no means is it easy, but you know, have you ever heard the expression, you just changed your mind? Why'd you change your mind? Well, that's what essentially happens when we move out of that season, is we change our mind. And within that change in your mind is different thinking, maybe reading different things, maybe meditating on different things, maybe talking to different people. Sometimes it takes the right person to plant the right seed to get you to think different. But you ain't gonna get any different when the wrong seeds are being planted with you. It just ain't gonna happen. So I encourage you to have that self-awareness. You know, Original Privateer is about the soul level. And we're about the risk takers, because it takes a risk to overcome that fear. It takes a risk to overcome that doubt. And it's a risky because you're so used to living in your box or your comfort zone that what isn't normal has become normal to you. This season, this crappy season, you've actually learned to adjust yourself to it. And there's no forward momentum, there's no gains, you've actually adjusted to it. So it's risky to take chances, to think differently, or to face your fears, to run to your fears instead of away from your fears. But freedom awaits. Freedom is on the other side of that running to your storm instead of away from it. Freedom is on the other side of having deep self-awareness and getting quiet with yourself and deep with yourself. That's what's going to change your season. And it's possible. I mean, we want you, Original Privateer, if you go to our website, all over it, we're about encouraging people to be a better version of themselves than the day before. Even if it's, even if it's just a little bit, but it's those little changes that make change. You change your mindset, you're gonna see change. And we want you to raise from the soul level. We want you to be passionate about it. Whether you're a freestyler, a wake surfer, a motocrosser, a downhill BMX racer, a snowboarder, whatever you are, a mother, a father, or you're in a relationship, we want you to love passionately and deeply. And we want you to race from the soul. We want you to race the hardest you've ever raced. And that's what we're about. That's what Original Privateer is about, from the soul level, not all this shallow shit. I mean, yeah, we got some cool threads, some cool beanie hats, shirts and all that, but we want it to be more than that. We want what fuels our spirit, what just fuels my soul is seeing people loving passionately, deeply, loving deep, not this normal shit, not this status quo, not this. We don't want you to dwell on the common, okay? We take a risk, find some passion, do something different, do something you've never done before. Get out of your box, do things different, race harder, have a different mindset when you roll up to the gate, have a different mindset when you jump in the water. That's where we're coming from. And what will stop you from all that is doubt and fear. But if you embrace that doubt and fear, and you recognize that doubt and fear, and you begin to have some self-discovery with yourself and start asking yourself, why am I having these feelings? Then begin to work on changing your thoughts that are supporting those feelings, okay? So we encourage you to just give this some thought. Change the season you're in, change what you're doing. A negative mind will never have positive results. We're all going to be insecure. We're all going to have fear and doubt at times. We're all going to have failure, but embrace that failure. That's how we learn. Embrace your story and get to a point where you could be vulnerable about it, because you've been honest with yourself about it, and it's part of your story, and we can learn from our story, and all kinds of possibilities will open up. So I encourage you, this fear and these struggles, you can get through this. You can get through it by listening to the right stuff, reading the right stuff, believing in the right stuff, and backing all of that up with the thoughts that you're thinking about. You have to ask yourself every day, is this vision I have, is this goal I have, or maybe you just feel shitty? What thoughts are you having that support that shitty feeling? Because you probably have, underneath shitty is a bunch of shitty thoughts holding up that shitty feeling, okay? If you got a bunch of fear right here and doubt, you probably underneath that fear and doubt is held up by a bunch of crappy thoughts. That's what's creating that fear. That's why you're staying in that season that you're in. So I encourage you, share these videos out. Go out there and race harder than you've ever raced. Go out there and love harder than you've ever loved. Love from the soul level. You know, the opposite of fear is love. You know, if you don't love yourself, it's because you have fear you're not good enough. You have fear you're not pretty enough. You have fear you're not handsome enough. You have fear you're not skinny enough. You have all these fears, and the opposite of love is fear. So how are you going to love yourself when you have all these thoughts about yourself that support fear, not love? Believe in yourself. You can do this. So go out there, whatever it is you're doing out there. Maybe you're taking a vacation with the family. Maybe you're going to Monster Energy Cup. Maybe you're in a relationship. I encourage you to change your mind, and you'll have a changed life. Be sure to check out our website. We got some new beanie hats here. They're pretty cool. My wife's a huge OU fan, so I had to create a hat for her that kind of supported her OU football. But anyway, I'm Dave with Original Privateer. Be sure to check out our website. Check out our Instagram page, our Facebook page. All of our videos are on Facebook. Be sure to check out our blogs on our website as well. So we encourage you guys, go out there and rock your cool. Rock it from the inside out. You have it. It's all within you. It's all within you. The only thing that's stopping you is you. I love you guys. Stay cool.